Welcome back to another video, and today we'll be starting the Roblox exploiting series lesson 1. I will be making multiple lessons going from basic to advanced to making your own scripts. I'll cover everything there is to know: reading obfuscated code, building your own scripts, and understanding Lua. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. First thing you should set up is Roblox Studio. Yours may not look like this. I've just made myself dark themed on an old Roblox account, so you do the same as I am. This video is primarily for the beginners who understand nothing of Lua. I will just quickly go over everything there is to know. You only need the basics of Lua before you begin, creating your own scripts. You don't actually need to learn advanced stuff. Some Lua stuff is only meant for games, like creating your own games, but you need to understand Lua to make your own scripts as well. Of course it helps, like if you know how to make a game, you also know how to exploit it. So just know that this video may not help some people, but later as we advance through the series, I will be sure to include topics that help everybody, including advanced people. Alright, so let's begin. This is the most important thing you need to know. Inside Roblox, and this is how every game is made inside Roblox Studio, right? They have these. This is what every basic game has, and these, the workspace, the players, everything. Every game will have this. I will show you later, how we will see this inside the game, but just know this. This is how you have to picture it in your mind. So, discover the workspace. The workspace is everything you see. Everything you see is inside the workspace. If I spawn a part, don't worry about this. You don't need to know this. If I spawn a part, right, I can see it's inside the base, inside the workspace. Let's say I put that part inside the replicate storage. I don't see it now. If I put inside the place, I don't see it. You see what I mean? So everything inside that you can see, it's workspace only. That is inside the workspace. It has a position. If it's a part, it has everything. I also forgot to mention that all of these, right? These are services inside the game. I forgot to mention these, but this is what a service is. This is all these, like, players is a service that contains all the players. It's better to think of it like this, because when we script, we have to actually get these services. So this workspace is a service, players is a service, and yeah. So now the next one I'm going to talk about is players. Players contains all the players. There's not much I need to say about this. These players, boom boom, everything here. Yeah, lighting, the sun, everything. Material service, you don't need to know. Network client, you don't need to know. Replicate first, again, you don't need to know. But for the sake of the video, replicated first is the first thing that the game will run when the game loads. This is mostly used for UIs, for your loading screens. This is what will run inside here. Replicate first. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's used for. Replicate storage. Now this is one that you do need to know, and this is a pretty good one. This is what you will use in every game. If they have module scripts, I'll teach you this later on. So you saw how I moved the part inside replicate storage, and I didn't see inside the game, the workspace. But what replicate storage does, it's the storage inside, it's the local storage. It stores things for the game to use, like a script. A script can run inside here and clone a part to the workspace and use it. Like, you touch a part, it destroys, and then it respawns. The part will be inside the storage, replicate storage, and it will respawn and build up. So think replicate storage as the storage of the game on the client side. Yep. As we get into server script service, let's touch on local side and server side. If you don't already know, the client side is what we can mess with. It's what we see. The server side is what we don't see, and we can never interact with the server. However, there are cases where you can find a backdoor, and this is like a leak. The only way for you to find this is if you know the devs, if they give you permission over the game or have made it so. But don't worry about this. All you need to know is the server side we cannot mess with, we cannot interact, we can lie to it using the client side. So as a client, when I run my game, if I have a script inside replicate storage, right? No other player has this. Only I would have this script. Like if I had a script here, no other player would have this script inside replicate storage. This is only me. This is my client stuff, right? And what server script service is it stores script on the server side. So let's say I had a script inside here. Me as the client, when I'm in the game, I can't access this script. I can't see what's inside of it. I can show you a demo inside the game. Alright, so I've loaded up normal game. This is a base plate game. You can use this experiment. Don't worry about infinite yield. Don't worry about what this is. This is just to show you. So this is what we get on the client side. Notice how if you look through here, we don't see server script service, and this is because it doesn't exist. On the client, server script service is not even there, and there's a reason for this. Let me get an image. Alright, so I have an image here, and don't get overwhelmed by this. Remote events and remote functions are just signals. So this is all you need to know. The client can send signals to the server. The server can receive the signal, and it can send a signal to the client. Now what the client can't do is it can't look at the server. It can only send the signal. It's black. It can't say anything. But the server can watch on the client anything it does. It can see everything. It can see if the signal, like it can double check, if you know what I mean. It's not living in the client. You can fake the signal, but the server can still see your part and everything in real time. So we'll touch more on this later on as we progress, but the client is restricted. We are restricted. We cannot mess with the server, and the server watches over us, and we can't lie. But we can fake the signal to, if the game has bad anti-cheat, game has bad checks, we can fake a signal, a remote event or remote function, and get what we want, like infinite coins if the game has no anti-cheat for that, if the game has bad signal checks on infinite coins, a remote event. So as I said, don't get overwhelmed. I'm not the best at explaining, I'll be honest, but the more you do it, the better you get. You can watch other videos, familiarize yourself, get used to this. This is how you become better, you progress. Alright, back in Roblox Studio. Now you understand replicate storage. We can see replicate storage. It's the client storage. So everything's stored inside the client in replicate storage. Everything server script served is all the scripts inside the server we cannot access. Now server storage. Server storage is the same as replicated storage, but it's the thing stored on the server. I can try to get a good example for this. Okay, so I've thought about it. So server storage stores, yeah. The client can't access what's been stored on the server storage because it's server side, but the server script can. So what usually happens inside the game is a game would have a server script, right? And it would use that script to move the part from the server storage to the workspace or the replicate storage. So all it's used for is to store things on the server so the client can't access it, and the server script, server script service, server scripts can use this to put it inside the client, as we talked about the signal and watching the client. Yeah. Now start a GUI. uh, anything that goes inside here, you only put here a GUI. So you only put, let me make a frame. You only would put like, this is a GUI, right? It can be anything, like a loading screen, uh, a HUD, if you know what that is. When the game runs, this starter GUI moves inside your player GUI. This player GUI doesn't exist, but then starter GUI comes in and, actually no, that's bad. Sorry, don't listen to me. Player GUI exists inside the player. Starter GUI moves the, straight as the player loads inside the game, the GUI would load inside starter player. As you can see, a screen GUI frame. So all that does is, when the game loads, it would run this piece of code in starter GUI, and it would move these GUIs to the player GUI. Next is starter pack. This is for tools like a weapon, a gun, hammer, anything like that. Once you put it inside here, it just runs it. So I could create an example because we like to learn. Tool, you see that? Just like that. To move this, you see the tool. This tool, obviously there's nothing for the tool because I haven't modeled it, anything. But anything inside starter pack would be the starting tool. Tools are a bit complicated to explain in this video, as there's custom tools for each game usually. If not, it's a basic tool. But as we progress, we'll learn that. Another one that's pretty important is the starter player. And all this starter player does, it has two folders in here, and it's starter character scripts or starter player scripts. The difference between each of these is when your character loads inside the game, it's gonna have a script for the character. I'll show you in a bit. And there's also starter player. So when your player loads, it's gonna have a script. I'm gonna show you a demo. Let's say we have a local script here and another local script here. When we start inside the game, we can see inside of our player scripts. This is the script that will run with our player, like the GUIs. Think of it, coins, stuff like this. And yeah, this is in our player script. Notice how we only have one local script, not two, because our player has run the starter player scripts. Now, when our character loads inside the game, the character is this player. Everything you see inside the workspace. So the character is different to the player. The player is inside the game and he has a character assigned to him. Every time we respawn, we're gonna have a new, But as you see here, there should be a local script. And this script came from the starter character script, and this is when our character first loads in the game. If I was to die, and we respawn, a new character's got assigned to us, and that character has local script again. So starter character scripts is the scripts that will run inside your character every time you respawn. Think of this like special custom scripts for character animations. Think of it like that. Although you can do player scripts as well, but just know these are not the same. Starter player and character scripts. The more you get used to scripting, the more you will understand how the character, when you respawn, is changed and you gotta track it and stuff like this. I hope none of this overwhelmed you. Most of this is useless after this. And the teams is very basic. Basically, teams is the team inside the game. This is how when you create ESP or Warhacks, this is how you define your team players and your teams. I'm gonna show you a demo inside the game real quick. So we are here in Murders, Sheriffs and Murders, and inside the teams there's Team 1 and Team 2. This Team 1 and Team 2 has it can be whatever name. They can have red, blue, different types of names. Now, how we know what team is assigned to us is if we go to our player, we can see inside the player there's a team attribute. This is what's called an attribute of value to our player. Think of it like settings. This is our setting, our team. Notice how it's named Team Chew, and inside teams there was Team Chew name here. That means we're assigned to Team Chew. Team 1, here, the other player. If we click on the other player, and you can see, once we find someone, real quick, here we go. Another player. Damn, what are they doing with their folders? Here we go, another player. This is a Nor. If we look at Nor's player, so if we go to the Nor player scripts, Nor has on the team, Team 1. And that is a Team 1 attribute, the value, the setting of the player. So yeah, teams is it's really easy to determine what team someone's in. You don't have to worry about this inside games. Don't worry about these other things. Lastly, sound service. You create custom sounds, stuff like this. Really simple. I think that's pretty much all of it for today. I do want to get into scripting, but you need to first understand what you're actually scripting. Like, there's two sides to it. It's not just one. You need to reverse engineer games, reverse engineer, and also create stuff. Because you can't skip one side. You can't skip reverse engineering. You need to understand how games are built to actually break them. That doesn't mean you have to build your own games. It just means you have to understand the file systems and how the scripts are stored and used. So I hope that is enough. I do want to go into a list of what you should learn before the next video. I will teach in the next video as well, but these are the things you should have to be comfortable with. Alright, so this is what I want you to be prepared to start using. This is what you should be understanding. Don't be overwhelmed again. Let's go through it one by one. So first, by today's lesson, you should recap of what I've talked about, what I've spoke, and use Google or YouTube to understand more about these. Understand what a local script is, local site client, and what a server script is, a normal script like this. This is a server script. You should also, for next lesson, understand what each service does. The services are these. Understand just the basics, the ones that you need. You don't need to understand all of them. You just need to understand the ones that we're going to use. The ones we're going to use are workspace, players, replicate storage, starter player, both starter player character scripts and starter player scripts you'll need to know, and starter pack, maybe starter GUI, maybe every other, not really. Last of all, what you should know for next lesson is learn basic Lua. I would also, next lesson is going to be me teaching you some basic Lua, because to get to advanced scripting we need to understand Lua. But what I want you to go right now and learn the basic, just you can use another YouTuber like Bro Devs, I don't know who the other ones right now, just learn from them. So learn what a variable is, like local variable. Local defined variable to be a variable. This can be whatever name it wants. And learn what a table is. A table stores data like this. It stores strings. Data 1, data 2. As I said, you need to go and learn this. You can't just, it doesn't just come, you can't just learn it in one day. You need to spend a week at least on it. Next is for loops. Understand what the index is and the value. And I recommend you use next instead of pairs. Some people do for in pairs table. I find next a lot easier to read. And last of all, understand if statements. These are very important. You use this every time. And what you should also understand, functions. Learn what a local function does. This is a function. Understand what this does, because you need this. And to call a function, you just do this is a function and you called it. I will go over this in the next video, but go and learn this. This is what's required of you. I will be giving you guys homework every time we finish these lessons. And peace.